Hey, good morning, my friends. The headline there was quite simple. We're going to have snow. We're going to have some real snow in a lot of places across Michigan. Real snow for November, and in some places, real snow for even December. So here we go. Hey, good morning, Craig Franklin, and good morning, Mark Ambrosi and Brenda Heiston. Good morning to you. Vern Fondren, hope you have a good day as well. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tabs open, so I better shut up and get to it. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Two storm systems. One you can see rotating around the Great Lakes. You can see a darker, or I guess I should say lighter patch of clouds. That's colder clouds. That's more precipitation producing clouds in this curl over in Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois. That's heading this way for later today. And then pretty robust system up there showing in the Pacific Northwest and southern Canada. Yes, our first Alberta clipper of the season. Showing you this. This is the watch and warning map across the Midwest. And I'm just kind of surprised that the Weather Service, at least in southwest lower Michigan, does not have a winter weather advisory up yet. But it's coming. I think it's probably just based on the time when these weather situations will occur. All right, so we're going to start off with the European. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at two models. We're going to look at the European. We're going to look at the NAM, North American model. That's a U.S. model. It's really good in the short term, and it has a lot more layers, and it can resolve the lower part of the atmosphere's temperature better. So the European is good 3, 4, 5, 6 days out, but you get to 1 and 2 days, the NAM has a better temperature profile, lower atmosphere, and when we're on the marginal snow events, rain versus snow, the temperature profile is everything. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things here, and I will not confuse you, I promise. Okay, so here is the European model. Hey, good morning, Swartz Creek. Lake effect for Kalakaska this weekend? Yes, sir. All right, so we're into noon today and early afternoon, and that disturbance out west will be lighting up the precip and starting it up. So expect the precipitation to increase as we go into the afternoon and evening for especially the southwest, and this is overnight. That's a southwestern continuous lake effect. And look at that signature Saturday morning. Does that look familiar? That's the northwest flow hitting the wide part of Lake Michigan in the southern end. And yes, lake effect. And Saturday, the same deal, cyclonic flow. And then that stops because look out west. This is Saturday night. This is Sunday morning, low pressure along the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Remember, on the north side of that, typically in the middle of winter, that's where the heaviest snow flies, about 50 to 100 miles north of that low pressure center. So we'll track that. It's about 3 counties farther north this morning in the forecast than it was yesterday. So about 50 miles farther north. But that's midday Sunday, and those temperatures marginal for all snow. Sunday evening, probably converting back over to all snow, and overnight Sunday night, leftover snow showers east side of the state, while lake effect, look at that, a lake effect plume coming down Lake Michigan, northern Indiana, northwest, southwest lower Michigan. Wow, did we just turn to winter? We did, and I kind of uh, you know, indicated that I didn't think winter was going to last. Okay, all right, so here we go. All right, so let's continue here. And then we get into Monday and Tuesday, and we get some warmer temperatures, and then we get a cold front by Thursday, back to cold. You can see that with the blue lines, and then we get a little bit of warm up toward the weekend, and as we head into Thanksgiving week by Sunday, Monday, we're cold, minus 14 Celsius at 5,000 feet. That's high temperatures in the 20s to low to mid 30s. That's late December type temperatures. Now, here's the European in its what type of precip mode. And remember, the European, not the greatest at the low level temperature resolution. It doesn't do the warm marine boundary layer coming off of the lake and stuff like that. So it does show a lot of rain in there. Now, this is Sunday morning, and the pink, by the way, could be rain or snow. So this is Sunday morning. We wake up, and a lot of places are like, hey, it's snowing. And we're at midday, and the European even wants to indicate that that colder air aloft comes down and helps keep it snow at times into evening. And then I'm surprised that it doesn't change it over to snow in the middle of the night, Sunday night, and early Monday morning. But the point being is we're going to vacillate up and down on the snowfall. All right, so here is now this is the NAM. Okay, remember this has a somewhat of a better temperature resolution, and it gives you a great feel. So as that disturbance comes across this afternoon, it's rain in southwest lower, and then as it gets inland and we get to evening, it changes to snow, and along the shoreline, it's still warm. The lakes are still in the 50s, Lake Michigan in the 50s. So just imagine that warm layer that's going to continuously blow off of Lake Michigan. Hey, good morning, St. Clair Shores, and Rich Jacob and Anthony Rinaldi. Good morning. Thanks for watching. And Brandon Johnson. Okay, so overnight we're into spurts of snow showers, even into the southeast part of the state. And then tomorrow we're into batches of lake effect snow and rain. And then here comes the Sunday system. Now we only get this out to 60 hours, but this is Sunday morning, 8 a.m., 9, 10, 11. Look at that. That's noon on Sunday. That's snow. Yeah, that is. All right, so how much? Here's the NAMS snowfall forecast on the latest run. That's through tomorrow morning, let's go to. And inland areas, 131 corridor, all the way from south to north, 2 to 4, maybe a spot with 5 inches, maybe a half inch or an inch breaking off into the eastern part of the state. Now let's go back to the older run because we don't have it all the way through, and let's see what it tries to do up until Sunday. Now we only get up till Sunday 1 o'clock on this run, and yeah, 1, 2 inches on the east side of the state, 2 to 4 on the west side. More widespread than just a little bit of lake effect. Here is the European. See what it does into Saturday morning. About the same. Southwest corner accumulations. And then Sunday, it brings across 2, 3, 4 inches. Now, I do want to remind you that this is a snowfall forecast, not a snow depth. So you could get 2, 3, 4 inches, and then an inch or two could melt if it goes down. So it'd be a real transient highest level of snow, and then come back down some based on the warm ground. Just some last few things here for you. Temperatures, yeah, get the RV winterized, get the boat winterized. Tomorrow's highs in the low to mid 40s. Sunday in the mid 30s. Monday 38 to 40. Tuesday warmer. Wednesday maybe back to near 60 in the southeast quadrant of the state. And then the cold front comes through on Thursday, cools us a touch Friday, and then that secondary cold front, and look at the highs. Now, admittedly, 10 days out, but looking at highs in the 30s and highs in the 20s by next weekend up in northern lower Michigan. So winter's here, I guess I would say. And we're going to have more wintry weather than fall weather going forward. I'm working on a post on an updated winter forecast from a meteorologist that I really like. He does a lot of research, a local meteorologist, been around 30 plus years, I'm going to say, in the National Weather Service in Southwest Lower Grand Rapids office of the National Weather Service, Bill Marino. he looks at a lot of things to try to see some patterns for what could happen this winter, and he's found some very interesting patterns, and I will post about that on MLive today. So have yourselves a great weekend. I'm going to be working. You know, it's snow, and it's the first one, and a few inches. It's not the end of the world. It's not something we haven't had before, but it's a pretty big deal in middle of November for it to be widespread like that. Uh, let's see. Crystal Flash, should we drain the gas out of the lawnmower or will there be mowing to be done? No, we're done with mowing. If you could mow it now before the mess, the grass is dormant, so that's not a problem. So you're done with the mowing. That's at least the good news in this forecast. Take care. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, and this update has been brought to you by Consumers Energy. Have a great weekend. I'll see ya. Bye.